सो हे गाइस, दिस इज योर बॉय वासु सहगल और आज की इस वीडियो में हम जानेंगे कि यार आप डेवलपमेंट तो बहुत ज्यादा कर लेते हो, उसके बाद बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स का ये मानना होता है कि यार उन्हें टेक इंडस्ट्री में जाना है, उन्हें या तो स्टार्टअप में जाना होगा या तो किसी बड़ी कंपनी में जॉब करनी होगी या तो फैंग या तो और भी बहुत सारी कंपनीज हैं। लेकिन बहुत ही ऐसे कम लोग होते हैं जो फ्रीलांसिंग की दुनिया में जाते हैं और वहां पर फ्रीलांसिंग में क्या होता है ज्यादातर लोगों को यहाँ पर कुछ भी नहीं पता होता। तो यार आज हमारे साथ हैं सुमित जी। तो प्लीज, हेलो सुमित, प्लीज इंट्रोड्यूस योरसेल्फ एंड योर बैकग्राउंड एंड व्हाट you have done in your graduation and how you landed into the freelancing world। तो एक बारी सबको बता दो अपना इंट्रोडक्शन।
Hi, first of all, thanks for having me here. And talking about my introduction, so my name is Sumit, and I am a 2017 CS passed out student from GTU from Gujarat. So I'm basically from Gujarat, and I'm staying in Gujarat also right now. So after not after before being graduated, I was when I was in last year, I tried to do freelancing. At that time I didn't know what are my skills and nothing. I just didn't know. I just heard that word freelancing, and I just wanted to know how does it work. So I went through few platforms like Fiverr and Upworks and freelancer.com and those kind of platforms. But those platforms were like already populated, and for somebody who doesn't know his skills, for them to make a path, it was very hard. So at that time I just added all the skills, like even the skills which I didn't know, and then tried to bid. So at that time I got the experience of freelancing, like what is it, how does it work, and what are the steps you need to take in terms of uh, get proper into that field. So that was my initial experience that I started in 2017, and then after completing my graduation, I took my first job in a startup, and there I was a first employee. So I was very much clear at that time that which path I wanted to take. I didn't want to go into big companies like Fang or any other like big organizations. So I just wanted to learn overall how the product development works, how you get clients, how to talk to them, and how you create a product and deliver it. So that process I wanted to know. So I got into the startup, and there in my first startup I worked for 1.5 years. And there, when I joined, I was a junior front end developer, and by the time I left, I was handling the front end team of like 4 to 5 people, and I had a little bit of exposure to backend as well, Node.js and stuff. And front end, we were using Angular at that time. So yeah, that's pretty much about my background.
ओके, तो आई होप यार आपको इनके बैकग्राउंड के बारे में पता लग गया होगा कि वो किस तरीके से फ्रीलांसिंग वर्ल्ड और स्टार्टअप्स की दुनिया में आए। तो प्लीज सुमित जी, एक बारी आप ये बता दो कि व्हाट इज योर टेक स्टैक, मतलब आपने किस तरीके से शुरुआत करी अपने टेक स्टैक की और इस वक्त आपकी करंट टेक स्टैक क्या है।
I started, I only knew a little bit of JavaScript, like 10-20% when I started my first job, okay? And the job required me to learn Angular. So they provided me with the course and stuff. So I learned Angular first, okay? At that time, Angular 4 version was there available. So I learned that, and then I started applying it in the project that we were working. And that project was, the main benefit was like I had to be cautious about like whatever I learn I had to apply, because that product we were developing, that was also being used at that time. It wasn't only like development phase. So yeah, I learned Angular initially, and by the time I left that first job, I knew a little bit of Node.js, MongoDB, AWS, how it works, and those kind of stuff. So since then till now, I know Angular, and in front end. In back end, I know Node.js, Nest.js, and in database I know MongoDB and little bit of PostgreSQL, and also I know GraphQL. So that's about web application development. And in mobile application development, I do hybrid cross-platform app development, and in that I use Flutter. Flutter is like it was introduced around 2017, and then it has been booming so much. So I'm using Flutter right now. I'm also having currently two projects in Flutter. I'm working on them right now.
ओके ओके, तो आई होप यार आपको इनके टेक स्टैक पता लग गए होंगे। तो सुमित जी, मेरा अगला क्वेश्चन आपसे काफ़ी ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है और ज़्यादातर बच्चे सिर्फ और सिर्फ इसी के ऊपर ही ध्यान देते हैं कि सबसे पहले आप ये बता दो कि जनरली अगर हम नॉर्मल बिग कंपनीज में काम करते हैं तो जनरली हमारी सैलरी कितनी होती है, और करंटली आपकी सैलरी कितनी है, और सैलरी इन द सेंस कि आप महीने का कितना कमा लेते हो, और इसके अलावा आपकी पर आवर आप कितना डॉलर चार्ज करते हो या फिर कितने रुपीस चार्ज करते
Yes, sure, I would talk about that. So first, I think I will start with my first job where I was offered the package of 3.6 lakhs per annum at that time when I joined, and by the time I left, I was being paid around six. That too in 1.5 years. Okay, so the growth was exponential in that organization where I worked, but the responsibilities were also there. So when you work in startup, it's not 9 to 6, it's almost 24 by 7, and you need to be okay with it initially. It's not always going to be like that, but initially I think you should be open to that. So initially I was being paid 3.6, and by the time I left it was 6, around 6. Okay, and after that, I joined another startup. Okay. And there I was being paid around 8.5 to something around that. Okay, and I worked there also like 1.5 years around. And the first startup which I worked on was Zetabet, and it was a successful startup. The product we developed was being used in France, and the startup was successful. So it was generating money, and it wasn't looking for any investment from anybody else. And in second startup we failed actually. I joined as a first employee, and by the time I left I was being paid around 11 or 11.5. So that startup failed, and after that, since then I've been doing freelancing from like last October or November. And I already knew how freelancing works, so it was just a matter of time like for me to create a new profile and to get done with it. So I created a new profile in Upwork, and initially I put hourly $15 an hour, 15 to 20, varying from clients to clients and depending on the length of the project. So since then I started from like 15 to $20, and now currently I charge around 40 to 45 hourly. And also it depends on the length of the project, or if it is a long term project you might charge less also, and if the client requirements are very much clear and you know what needs to be done, and if it's faster then you charge sometimes less also. So but on an average I do 30 to 40 dollars an hour.
ओके ओके, तो ये तो सबको यार एक बारी आइडिया हो गया होगा यहाँ पर कि उनकी यहाँ पर वो कितने डॉलर पर आवर चार्ज करते हैं। तो यहाँ पर मैं एक क्वेश्चन ऐड करना चाहूँगा जो सबके मन में होता है। तो यार सारे जाते हैं टॉप टेक इंडस्ट्री में कि हमारे पास जॉब सिक्योरिटी हो एक तरीके की, हम बड़ी कंपनी से जुड़े रहेंगे तो हमारे पास सैलरी मंथ टू मंथ आती रहेगी। तो क्या आपको ये डर नहीं था फ्रीलांसिंग करते हुए कि जब आप फ्रीलांसिंग कर रहे होंगे तो कभी ऐसा हो सकता है कि यार कुछ महीने मुझे पैसे मिलेंगे ही नहीं, या कुछ महीने ऐसा हो सकता है कि मुझे कोई क्लाइंट ना मिले?
So what I'm going to tell might people won't agree with that, but I have never been out of work in freelancing. Whatever number of years or months I have done, actually I have been flooded with work. That's like different. I always hear people saying that how to get projects. I'm not getting any projects, but for me it's, I don't know, because I think it's very clear to me. I started earlier in 2017 and I understood the process. Maybe because of that it's happening, but for me I'm always having 2 to 3 projects at a time with me, and 2 to 3 projects are always there in pipeline. So okay, if anything gets finished, or if I'm free, I can take care of those projects in pipeline. So currently I'm already working, so I will tell what are the projects I'm working on. One project is where I need to write an article, technical article. For example, like there is an Angular 12 version released, so company might ask me to write that article. Okay, and that I do monthly, one article a month or 20 days. Okay, so that I do. So that is not something like which I'm occupied with always. It's just like matter of 3 to 4 hours I put, and I get the article ready for that company. So that is one job. Another one is like I'm working for a client from Canada. So that is basically a full stack app, and I'm the part of front end team, and I do front end, and I handle the front end architecture and those kind of stuffs. And I'm also sometimes asked to look into the back end, and but that's not my expertise. Like the back end is in Java Spring Boot. So currently I'm working. That's a long-term project. So for that I'm charging like $25 an hour, and that was my second project. First project was that blog writing. Okay, so those two clients are still there with me since I started from October. And currently also there are 2 3 projects in pipeline, which might get finalized or might not, based on my availability on clients requirement, depends on it. So currently I am with that.
ओके तो यार आई होप ये सबका डाउट क्लियर हो गया होगा यहाँ पर कि काफ़ी लोगों को ये लगता है कि फ्रीलांसिंग के बाद यार आपके पास कभी ऐसा टाइम आ सकता है कि आपको क्लाइंट्स बिल्कुल ही नहीं मिल रहे. तो आई होप यहाँ सबका डाउट क्लियर हो गया होगा. सो माई नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन टू यू इज दैट हाउ यू गॉट योर फर्स्ट क्लाइंट, because to get your first client is really a tough job, and everyone wants to know that how a developer gets his first client.
Right. So if you are already a developer, things get easier for you. If you already know your skill, like as you are already saying that you are a developer and then you are looking for a client, so you know your skill set, right? Maybe you are a front end developer, a back end, or a full stack. So you know your tech stack, what is it? Okay. So first thing is like identifying the platform based on your skills. So for me, initially when I started, I was using Fiverr, but in Fiverr there are no long-term clients, or hardly you get long-term clients. It's a gig type of thing. Okay, you do it once and then you are done, and then you find another. Okay, Upwork, however, is for long-term projects. So when I started back in October, I created the profile in Upwork, and first step I took is like to mention my skills very clearly, what I know, what I don't know. Okay, so the first step is that, like, to know what are your skills, and presenting it is the one of the most important thing. You might know many things, but if people don't know that you know, then it's not useful. So your profile, wherever you create, LinkedIn or Upwork, your profile has to be 100% detailed, and it has been filled with all the tech stack that you know, and the projects that you have worked on. You should also mention the scenarios, like these problems we faced and I was the part of the solution, and how did we solve that, and those kind of things. And so first part is getting your profile ready to be noticed. Okay, so initially when you create, nobody is going to see your profile, but that doesn't mean you don't create a good one. Okay, so that is the first step. Second step is to start bidding. Okay, now bidding itself is a very long topic, like, to be discussed. I have created a template, I will also share it with you. Okay, so in the template, what happens is, first you see a job description, right? Job description, somebody has put that I want these things to get done from a freelancer or developer. Okay, so as a freelancer or whatever you get, as a developer, your first job is to read the description very carefully, not only once, twice, thrice, as many times as you need to, but you need to read it very carefully, because some clients are very smart. If the description is too long, what they do is, at the end of the description, what they put, like, when you bid, you start with this word, they mention some XYZ word, so that they get to know that the freelancer who is bidding has read the whole job description. Okay, so the second step is to read the job description very carefully.
Yes.
And understanding it, and also to know, like, if it is in your scope or not. It's not something you experiment with, because client is not there to experiment their product or their work, that they want to get it done. Okay, they want somebody else, somebody who is expert, or rather they mention that even if somebody is fresher, it's fine, we might train them, but it's not something to experiment with. Okay, so if it is if it is in your scope, okay, you should apply. Now comes the art of applying the bid, how to bid. Okay, so first thing you mention is a summary, one or two sentence, very brief. You mention what you understood from that job description. Okay, so that client, when he reads, he knows that you have understood the problem. Without understanding the problem, you can't solve it. Okay, so first step is in the bidding is like to mention what you understood from that description. Second is, what are your approaches to solve that problem. Somebody wants to develop an app, and they have put the job description, right? You can mention how you will solve that problem. Or you can mention you have already encountered that problem, or you have already built something like that. Okay, and you mention it there. Third step, is to mention your skills which you will apply to solve that problem. Okay, first thing, we identified the problem, we mentioned it. Second is, uh, we applied our knowledge, and we understood that how we are going to solve that. Third step is, what are the tools, what are the skills that you are going to use that you already have to solve that. And fourth step is to mention the projects or links, external links, like link to your GitHub or LinkedIn profile, something like that. Okay, and never try to get a client outside of that platform when you are in initial stage. That's a big, because Upwork charges 20% fees for that project, for first initial $500. Okay, for a particular project they charge 20%, and after $500 to $10,000 they charge 10%, and after 10,000 plus they charge 5%. But it's worth it because they are getting you clients. Okay, and they are helping you manage that. So this is the art of applying the bid. And I will also say, so these were the do's, and now I will mention don'ts. Okay, so don'ts are like, first I already mentioned that don't try to get the client outside of that platform, like you take it outside and then you try to get paid outside of work, and that is very short lived, that won't work longer for you if you are planning to have a long span of career in freelancing. Okay, so that is first don'ts. And second don'ts is like, don't do like without understanding the client's problem. If you try to mention what you know, I know this, I know that, these are my skills, these are my expertise, client is not interested in that. Client is interested in solving his problem, and how you are going to solve it, client is only interested in that part. Okay, you might know 1,000 things, and if it might not be useful for the client, so it's going to be waste. Okay, so these are the two don'ts. If you don't do them, and if you keep bidding regularly, I am pretty much sure that you will get your first client. In fact, I got my first client within a couple of weeks. It might take longer for other people who doesn't know the process. I already knew the process, it's just a matter of time I had to put in. So for me, I got my first client within like initial first or second week only, and then second client, and then it's been going on. Some short time projects also I finished them, and my rating are like 5 stars currently. So also, if there is a dispute, okay, there might happen, it's going to happen, it's not might, but it's going to happen that you might have a dispute with the client. I am currently, since last 6 months, I haven't gotten into those situations where I have dispute with clients. But if it happens, you should leave it like, okay, whatever client says, it's fine. Okay, you are not going to lose anything from that. You just move on. If you are stuck with that thing, like in the dispute, you are going to waste your time, and the client will run away already. And these freelancing platforms will always take sides of client. Okay, because they are paying them. and they are the one who drives the platform, not the freelancers come second. So always try to be nice with the people, and even if they are not nice, just don't do that project, okay? But don't take it and then leave it halfway, okay? Always uh, give them proper documentation, and always give them code history, and to if somebody else they hire, he should be able to take on that project. So always work in that way to go more in freelancing, like to have a long span of career. Yeah, that's it.
ओके, सो आई होप यार आपको काफ़ी ज़्यादा पता लग गया होगा कि इन्होंने अपना फर्स्ट क्लाइंट कैसे बेसिकली अब एक फ्रीलांसिंग प्लेटफॉर्म से मिला था इनको अपना फर्स्ट क्लाइंट। मेरा अगला क्वेश्चन आपसे ये है कि व्हाट इज़ अ प्रपोजल एंड हाउ यू प्रिपेयर्ड वन। सो ब्रीफली थोड़ा बहुत बता दो सबको कि एक प्रपोजल क्या होता है जब आप एक फ्रीलांस प्लेटफॉर्म पे आते हो, और वो आपको किस तरीके से हेल्प करता है कि आपको एक अपना क्लाइंट मिले।
Proposal is the main thing. If you prioritize how to get a client, and if you prepare steps, then proposal is on top priority. So to apply properly, first, as I mentioned, like you need to understand the job description. So first step would be to mention that what you understood out of the job description. Second step is how you are going to solve it, as in like what are the skills you are going to apply, or you already have encountered with that problem, or you already have developed something like that. Mention that. These two things if you mention properly, client is going to like at least talk to you, might not give the project, but at least talk to you. Third part is give links to your projects which you already done. That helps client to know that you are capable of doing it, okay? So always prepare your links ready, like keep it somewhere saved, and just put it. And sometimes client also mentions like that they want to develop that app, and what are the steps you are going to take, like to for in terms of architecture and those kind of things. So in the fourth step where you are putting those links, also mention that this project we started like this and we did it like this. So these are the only four steps, like to create a proposal.
तो यार आई होप कि आपको पता लग गया होगा प्रपोजल एक क्या चीज़ होती है, और इससे आप किस तरीके से बहुत सारे क्लाइंट्स को हासिल कर सकते हो जब आप एक फ्रीलांस प्लेटफॉर्म पे जाते हो। सो माय नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन टू यू विच इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट इज दैट व्हाट आर द प्लेटफॉर्म्स दैट वी कैन स्टार्ट विद फ्रीलांसिंग एंड विच वन यू ट्रस्ट द मोस्ट।
So when I started with freelancer.com, and it's very tough in there. So it's not that I'm saying it's bad, but it's not for newcomers. Those who want to start shouldn't start from there, because it's very populated and very confusing also. So that I think people should avoid. It's a very good platform, but not for beginners, according to me. So where to start with? I started with Fiverr or Fiverr, whatever you call it. So Fiverr is basically based on gigs. You mention I will do this for you, okay, and then you apply using that gig to relevant job requests, okay. So Fiverr also I would recommend, and Upwork, if you are looking for some long term clients, long term projects, do with Upwork. I trust Upwork the most. Okay.
तो आई होप यार आपको पता लग गया होगा कि इन्होंने कौन कौन से प्लेटफॉर्म पे वर्क करा है, और वो किस से प्लेटफॉर्म से, अगर कोई बिगिनर है यहाँ पर जो फ्रीलांसिंग से स्टार्ट कर सकता है, करना चाहता है, तो वो कौन से प्लेटफॉर्म से स्टार्ट कर सकता है। सो माय नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज फॉर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर डेवलपर्स राइट नाउ हियर इज दैट द स्कोप ऑफ डेवलपमेंट इन फ्रीलांसिंग, बिकॉज वी सी दैट ग्राफिक designers are so many graphic designers are there, but very few developers are there who willingly to want to go in freelancing. So आपका इसके ऊपर क्या पॉइंट ऑफ ओपिनियन है कि स्कोप ऑफ डेवलपिंग क्या है फ्रीलांसिंग में?
So scope of developing as compared to designing, I think it's same according to me, because designing might get done from anywhere else, because it's only need communication, right? So you might use anything, like from LinkedIn also you get projects. Development needs certain tools like for communication, because it's very long term communication, and also you need to share code snippets, and so people use this Slack, okay. So for that, so talking about the scope of development, it's very huge according to me, And also now companies are moving, instead of like full time hiring an employee and spending on infrastructure and providing perks and benefits, they focus on projects based work. So they would hire a freelancer, okay, and they would assign that project to him, okay. So
Yeah.
that scope is actually increasing according to me. And now world is going remote, right? As this current situation already we know it, world is going remote,
Yeah.
fully remote. So freelancing, in terms of development, it's becoming huge.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of scope, and people who are trying to opting it should go with it according to me.
ओके, तो आई होप यार आपको पता लग गया होगा कि स्कोप ऑफ डेवलपमेंट विद, जैसा कि आप देख रहे हो कि टाइम जिस तरीके से आगे बढ़ रहा है, तो स्कोप ऑफ डेवलपमेंट इन फ्रीलांसिंग इज क्वाइट इंक्रीजिंग. सो माय नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज दैट हाउ यू स्टार्टेड योर कोडिंग, एंड एज यू नो दैट यू आर अ वेरी गुड डेवलपर, सो व्हाट वाज योर कोडिंग रोड मैप. सो यहाँ पर बहुत सारे बिगिनर्स देख रहे होंगे, तो एक बार आप थोड़ा बहुत बता दो कि आपका रोड मैप क्या था.
Yeah. So for me, initially I started with JavaScript. Okay. So I never thought that I would want to master a JavaScript. I just wanted to solve the problems. Okay. So mastering JavaScript is another thing, and solving problems is another thing. Another thing. Okay. So it depends on people's choice and their likes and dislikes. Some people are like master of none, jack of all. Some of them are like master of one, jack of none. Okay. So it really depends on that. Okay. So for me, I am not a master of one. Okay. I am master of none, jack of all kind of person. So I started with JavaScript. I learned Angular. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm still not mastering it. Nobody can actually master a framework. Okay. Framework itself is evolving, and sometimes you have to leave the framework when it stops serving the purpose. So I started with Angular, then I learned a little bit of Node.js, learned a little bit of MongoDB. Okay, so I'm like currently a full-fledged. I can create a small size to a mid-size web application on my own. So I learned all those things. DevOps also, I learned little bit of like AWS services and those kind of stuff. How to host a product that you have developed. Okay. So basically, for me, I started with JavaScript, then I learned Angular, then I learned Node.js, then MongoDB, and then recently GraphQL, Nest.js, and currently I am doing Flutter. Okay, so that's how I went, and my next plan is like to get big and proper and in Flutter. So it doesn't mean I stop learning Angular.
Okay.
I keep my eye on new versions that are coming, and that's why actually I write articles for that company, so that I also get myself updated on new things that are coming in JavaScript or Angular, and I keep reading articles for myself to be updated.
तो यहाँ पर जितने भी डेवलपर्स होंगे तो उन्हें एक तरीके का रोड मैप मिल गया होगा कि यार अगर ये यहाँ से उठ के इतनी ज़्यादा फ्रीलांसिंग कर सकते हैं, और आप देख सकते हो कि इस तरीके का रोड मैप एक फ्रीलांसर भी, जो नॉर्मल फ्रीलांसर भी है, वो भी इसी तरीके का रोड मैप फॉलो करता है. सो माय नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज टू यू इज दैट हाउ मेनी क्लाइंट्स यू हैव गॉटन ऑन अपवर्क. सो अभी तक आपको कितनी जर्नी हो चुकी है फ्रीलांसिंग पे, कितने ईयर्स की, और कितने क्लाइंट्स आपको मिल चुके
From October to till now, around 8 to 10 projects I have already worked on Upwork. Okay, and I also get some messages on LinkedIn also, like for work related, like projects related queries. From Upwork, I have 8 to 10 clients I have worked with so far, and 2 or 3 projects are in pipeline.
ओके. सो आई होप यार आपको पता लग गया हो काफ़ी कुछ फ्रीलांसिंग का, अभी तक आपको पता लग रहा हो. इसके अलावा मेरा अगला क्वेश्चन आपसे ये है कि जितनी इस वक्त आपकी एक तरीके से कहा जाए सैलरी है मंथली, और अगर इस वक्त आप एक टॉप टेक कंपनी में होते तो आपको क्या बेटर लगता, कि वो सैलरी बढ़िया है या इस वक्त जो आप एक तरीके से सीख रहे हो और जितना आप अर्न कर रहे हो वो बेटर है?
See, you can compare it, but nothing. You can't say this is better or this isn't better. For me, what it works for me is like I want to do things on my own. Like I don't want to be told not as in like I can't take orders. You always listen to clients and what they want. In terms of solution, okay, I'm talking about in terms of solution, I want to do it on my own. Okay, client has given me deadline to get it done within 1 week. Okay, now I set my own timer where I want to, when I want to work, where I want to work. That's important. Yeah. When and where are two important things in freelancing, because you get to choose it. Yeah. You are your own boss. Whereas if you work in a corporation, even if client doesn't want it like so fast, you need to work on it. Okay, you can't set the priorities. Somebody else does it for you. You just follow the orders. Okay, so if you are a good follower, I think you should go with the company approach. And if you want to create your own thing, like you want to decide where you want to work and when you want to work and who you want to work with, then you should go with freelancing. So I am that kind of person where I want to decide these three: where, when, and to with whom I want to work. So I go with freelancing. So if your choice is like that, you should go definitely with freelancing, and you will get better with it. It's not initially you will figure it out, but you get better with time.
Okay. So my last question of this podcast video is that how to define your pricing and how much you should charge for your how much you should charge your clients so that basically you get your first client.
Okay, so if you are starting, it depends on it, at which level you are currently. If you are starting, you shouldn't think about money. Okay, it's not you are not going to get paid. You want to focus on building relationships, connections. Okay, so as long as you are building connections, you are in other way you are already earning money. That's not money actually, but it's a value attached with it. Connections always come with a value. So if you have worked with a client, okay, you get done with it, the project is done, he might come back later. Okay, if you have charged properly, or you have given something more than what you have charged. Okay, so initially you should focus on that part. So for me, I started with that blog thing which I write a blog, and that one article is for 60 USD initially. After that time, currently I charge 75. Okay. But initially, if I wanted, like let's say I want $100 for that article, nobody would have given me that. I wrote 5 to 7 articles for them, and they are like ranking on first page if people search those articles. Okay, now they have trust. Now even if I ask more, they would give me that money. So initial thing would be to build the trust, and then now if you talk about how to charge and how to decide what would be the pricing. So first understand the scope of the project. Okay, after understanding what client wants in terms of if he wants hourly based or if he wants project based. Okay, it is up to him. Okay, so even if it is up to him, you should know like this is these many hours of work. For if a client wants a web application to be developed, you should know like this would take a person skilled like me would take 30 hours. Okay, so at that time you should know your skill, your expertise, and apply like for example a junior level might apply $10 an hour. Okay, so he already identified like it would take 30 hours for me. You should also add a buffer like 5 hours or 10 hours more. Okay, and then multiply it with your expertise and the rates you have decided. So for an app that has to be developed like within 30 hours. Okay, you take 5 to 10 hours of buffer, 40, and then you apply 10 hours if you are a beginner. Okay, so $400 you should charge according to me. Yeah. And if you are an expert, you should increase your charge, but you should increase number of hours, because you are an expert. You are required to deliver it very fast. Okay, time also matters, not only the solution. So for me, I first divide them in the hours, number of hours, and then I rate my skills, and then I multiply it, and then I charge it based on that model.
सो आई होप यार आपको पता लग गया हो यहाँ पर कि किस तरीके से आपको अपना प्राइस सेट करना चाहिए जब आपको अपना फर्स्ट क्लाइंट चाहिए हो। बहुत सारे प्लेटफॉर्म्स हैं यहाँ पर, हमने बहुत सारे प्लेटफॉर्म्स की डिस्कशन की। सो इट वाज अ वेरी इंसाइटफुल वीडियो इन विच वी टॉक्ड अबाउट फ्रीलांसिंग एंड हाउ टू स्टार्ट विद फ्रीलांसिंग एंड एक डेवलपर की फ्रीलांसिंग जर्नी किस तरीके की रहती है। सो आई होप यार आपको इस इंसाइटफुल कन्वर्सेशन से बहुत कुछ सीखने को मिला हो। और अगर आपको सुमित से कनेक्ट करना हो या मुझसे कनेक्ट करना हो तो मैं सारी लिंक्डइन आईडी आपको डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में दे दूंगा, और इन्होंने जो भी यूजफुल रिसोर्सेज यहाँ पर बताए हैं वो भी सारे आपको डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में मिल जाएंगे। तो यार जाकर सुमित से कनेक्ट कीजिए, और अगर आपके पास कोई फ्रीलांस प्रोजेक्ट है या फिर अगर आपको लगता है कि किसी को ज़रूरत है तो यहाँ पर आप इनसे कनेक्ट कर सकते हैं।
So one last thing I would want to add is like I'm like getting good money out of it, and my career is doing good. Okay, so now I want to give back to the community. So like if anybody wants to discuss or know how to do things, or any doubt if you have, just reach out to me anytime. I'm open like to all. It's not like I can mentor anybody like in for freelancing. If you have any queries, doubts regarding technical or freelancing things, just reach out to me. Don't hesitate. I would try to, and I would be happy to help. Yeah, that's it. Thanks.
तो अगर किसी को यहाँ पर हेल्प चाहिए हो या फिर मेंटरिंग चाहिए हो कि वो फ्रीलांसिंग किस तरीके से स्टार्ट कर सकते हैं, तो ही इज जस्ट गिविंग बैक टू द कम्युनिटी। यू कैन कनेक्ट विद हिम ऑन लिंक्डइन, एंड इफ यू हैव एनी डाउट्स related to proposal, or you can say the tech stack, or you can say how to approach to the first client, you must connect with Sumit। और अगर आपको ये वीडियो अच्छी लगी हो तो लाइक करना, और मेरे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करना, और इस वीडियो को ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा शेयर करना, ताकि जो भी डेवलपर फ्रीलांसिंग वर्ल्ड में आना चाहता है, फ्रीलांसिंग स्टार्ट करना चाहता है, वो यहाँ पर आकर ये वीडियो देख के उसे थोड़ा बहुत इस इंसाइटफुल कन्वर्सेशन से काफ़ी कुछ जानने को मिले। सो आज की वीडियो में इतना ही। थैंक यू सो मच।